Me? Mike.
I think people will get that skilled at representing human faces that you will be able to make it indistinguishable. In fact, when we first did our work, we had it to a point where we had to back off in the lighting to make it clear that this is not someone who was shot, a real person like Max Headroom shot and then post-processed to make him look computer. And so I think it is certainly very possible in the near future to represent things that well.
I think if you do the lighting right, we can do that today. We've got about 10 seconds in one of our rehearsals, which most people think is live. I think we got lucky, but I don't think it was a mistake. I think it would be possible for these characters and creatures to express feelings, and I think it could be truly and delightfully obnoxious. I think if you go into your kitchen and you don't go to the refrigerator could grimace at you or try to attract you over to the refrigerator.
Tom, I feel my whole working life has been a crusade against the mere possibility of talking fridges. Is this really your idea of a great future? A world where fridges talk? Because if it is, I'll wake up. Then where will you be?
I'll still be here. Where will you be?
Back in the real world.
How will you tell?
Well, walls, ceilings, floors, and so on.
Can be very deceptive stuff.
What do you mean by that?
This.
What this is, in fact, is a package that holds two flat panel liquid crystal displays, fairly kind of medium resolution. And there's one for each eye. We look at those through very wide angle optics. The idea is to try to match human field of view as much as possible. We can see about 180-degree field of view. These optics give us about 120-degree with a true stereo image. Okay, I'm looking at a computer-generated image of the actual lab that we're working in here. I'm seeing a monochrome, fairly simple database that we developed to see if we could do a life-size virtual environment. It's set up so that I can actually look around in all directions. I'm completely surrounded by the computer-generated image. It's appearing in true stereo. As I reach my hand out, I have an instrumented glove on it with which I can control a computer-generated model of my hand that appears to be where my real hand is in virtual space. So I move my fingers, virtual hand moves. I can make various gestures with the glove that are recognized by the host computer. For example, I can pick up virtual objects. I can make a gesture to fly through this space. I can grab objects. To fly, I have to make a particular gesture like that to make a menu come up. I make another gesture to trigger an item on the menu to enable flying. And then I make a very simple gesture of pointing with two fingers like this. And I can actually move through this space, move my viewpoint around, and actually I'm flying up out of the room, looking down from above. And if I just point my hand again, pointing the two fingers, I can fly slowly back into the room. Some of the more commercial applications of the technology we've developed here appear to be, certainly in the recreation and entertainment industry, this idea of entertainment or interactive fantasy, where literally a game player could become a character in
You could be driving your own character, or you could be creating your own character while you're playing the game. Of course, it would have to be fairly unconscious so that you weren't spending all your time just thinking about that. But you could be beautiful, or you could be ugly, or you could be a single point of light.
If we're going to spend all our time reinventing ourselves in a computer, what's going to happen to families and things?
I know what you're trying to say. When I were a lad, we used to make our own entertainment. We used to walk into living room and switch on the telly ourselves.
All right, so what do families do now, then?
My great fear with it is just if it removes people too much from
from real reality, from physical reality, from nature, etc. In the same way that living in a city does somewhat. There's a lot of fascinating...
People do it already. When people go together to go to a movie, they are in a virtual reality. What's different is that it isn't interactive and it isn't under their control. When you read a novel, if everyone reads a novel, in a way they are sharing a virtual reality. But it's visual environments and lands and characters in a manner that is convincing and yet is totally fantastic. I think that words are a poor way to show it. I think what you have to do is you have to do it.
Tom, are you there?
Sorry, I was just having a virtual cup of tea. It's all right, I've virtually finished it now.
Tom, Michael Warman just said that in order to understand this, you have to experience it for yourself.
Yes, yes, very true. Bright man. Needs a shave, but he knows what he's talking about.
Well, I think I'd like to do that, please.
What, shave?
No, I want to try it for myself. I want to see what the current state of the art in artificial realities is.
Oh, why be so modest? It doesn't have to be the current state of the art. I mean, this is a dream after all. Why not take advantage of it? Very good. Your glove, sir? And sir's virtual reality helmet, sir?
You seem to have gone all obsequious again, Tom.
I know that sir secretly prefers it, sir. If sir will just lean forward a little, I'll wish sir bon voyage.
Keep making contributions. Because we're not talking here about gizmos. We're talking here about changing the way we think.
In the medium by which we can begin to display this. I would predict by the early 90s that this will become a universally accepted method of communication and become dominant, even replacing linear television. That's,
this is a whole new sense. Interactivity is a sense in itself. It brings out whatever is special within the individual and allows them to put part of themselves into the story. Yes, I hope that everyone
that's one part of the equation.
I think we're slowly realizing there's a second, and that is, what are we trying to say with all of this?
Links and quotations stretching forever to the horizon as a great literature that will expand. I think I know how Descartes felt. Looking at X and Y stretching forever as defining all mathematics and realizing that he was the first person to stand at the center, but he wasn't the center itself could be moved.
Those, then, are the prospects for tomorrow. And the outlook for the rest of the week is something we simply don't know at the moment. But for now, I'll say good night. Linear television is closing down.